Hello guys, so today we are reacting to Oladips and this one is Bulaba. Just from the name you can tell what it's going to be talking about today. It's going to be talking about politics, it's going to be talking about Tinubu, it's going to be talking about situation of Nigeria. So we all know what it's going to be talking about today. But one thing we know about Oladips is that he says his truth and he doesn't filter it. So without further ado, let's get on this. Let's go.
The Disciples Music.
I therefore, with a full sense of responsibility as the executive governor of Oyo State, call on the appropriate international human rights and accountability mechanism to closely examine the facts surrounding this abduction.
The dream was to go to school, but I can't engineer. Me, I like to build stuff. I dey carry first for my class, results mean souvenir, but still my life is too tough. I was just a little kid with $1 million dream, style about the Oladips book. What happened to the dreams though? Story for another day. Rashidi Yigbo kid, Fabi too puff. Bro, I was a bright kid before I started the smoking dope Rasky. But one day I dey inside the room, they find key. Me, I don't hide. I won't break the door with fly kick. Kito jale kumbole, I want neighbor me my docket. Apparently the key day for my pocket tightness. We had to stop go to that addiction. Same year, Nemo Shape push jam readmission. I do Ikiti, you not go to the EXU. 2009 stranded, Nimbo Mofesu. Borrow head time from MC and know ya press to. Call my papa for phone, the man be the vex too. I didn't understand the pressure where the man the face. I be no one make I go school, but that was not the case. Money no day, in they try invest be more other more. SS2 multi passive, why help me, I want to further more. If you know
Okay, so before we just let it linger, I didn't expect this to be this much of storytelling. You know, Oladips can shock you with how he comes and what he says on the beat, so you don't really know what to expect on the song. So I actually thought this one would be more of the government, but it's more of storytelling, and it's just literally talking about the average life of a youth that doesn't have money in Nigeria, how they suffer to go to school, battling drugs, weeds, getting into drugs, and also struggling to pay their fees, struggling to pass through school. And all these things stemmed from the condition of the country and how the government doesn't support its people. The government has failed its people in terms of how it has given opportunities to its people. And this has reflected in the youths and the young ones that are growing up because they are growing up in a space in a very harsh and unconducive environment, a place where their own parents can't even have enough money to feed themselves, talk more feed their kids. So imagine how this kind of underprivileged kids will get education and become people in life. So he's literally saying that the average Nigerian youth has a lot of potential, but can go through so many struggles and their potential can be limited just because of the environment to which they grew up.
borrow head time from MC and know ya press to. Call my papa for phone, the man be the vex too. I didn't understand the pressure where the man the face. I be no one make I go school, but that was not the case. Money no day, in they try invest be more other more. SS2 multi passive, why help me, I want to further more. If you no go school, all these elites then go bench you. Now waiting at the reason, overthinking yakin gentle. Onje to yakin jenny breakfast smoke by that gentle. One day, miss if I go out, be me no get to. That was how the dreams break a cycle just faded. From great grandfather to my dad's and mom's parents. But now I don't they have my own kids. I don't pay school fees. Kone sumi, kone remi, I need more prayers. The last of a dying breed. The thing be like us. All of my siblings don't pass O level. The things to the us, but I'm finding peace. Although uprising I be no less. The ones where they go school and the ones where don't graduate. Or what I want job and coach every day like John calculate. Daily contribution, Emi look on Simon Kwajo. I want touch it on it 10 years ago, still they find job. The reality is sad. Look at Pella, look at YC. If you talk, then go say money is not the yardstick. Person where they speak or the grammar so intelligent. Person where no go school for my country feel be president. I mean.
So the whole Olodo pricing, he has referenced it here, and he has even referenced the two people that were like the major parties to the whole controversy and the whole topic of Olodo pricing because Pella was the person being talked about. It was the one that is the face of literally the people that they regard as those that the algorithm pushes but don't really have anything to offer. And YC is the person that even brought about the slang Olodo uprising. So, of course, YC, a graduate, smart, but he is not the one that his words are being kind of like going viral or his actions are going viral. The media pushes Pella, the media pushes every action that Pella takes, and that's what the youths want to see. So, of course, Oladips is addressing it here that um someone like Pella can be the president, someone that didn't go to school can be the president. But however, someone that is so intelligent like YC can be the one at the back end trying to get their attention and trying to get people's favor. So you're just saying that in this place, the your education doesn't even really help you as much anymore. You know, your education is only one of those things. It doesn't really help you as much. While someone that don't even have a limit that even has a limited education can even give more to society and can be regarded on high esteem as far as it plays to what the people are looking for. So I think that's what Oladips is saying here.
Look at Buhari, we no right work. Eba afi babale CBT one rora wayen. One correct politics everyday customer. Bulaba. Filling the gap. Question mark. Let's talk about the vice president. I don't think he knows he's the vice president. It be like say he did there just they count every day. Against 2037, make we pack evidence. 31st lady, may she dodge, may she hide face. In 2026, make our mothers the fry pins. Good luck, Jonathan. We are sorry for the hatred. We need to apologize to our mommy patient. Rest in peace, child.
Okay, you know, it's always this kind of like a pattern I see where every president that comes in is always being accused of doing the worse than the president of before. But one thing we have realized is that good luck, Patience was actually very loud, but she tend to have done more for the people than whatever the first lady of Nigeria is currently doing for the people. You know, she's empowering people to go and fry akara. Imagine people frying akara to raise their kids in a country where the average school fees is over 30,000 naira for a kid. It's over 50,000 naira for a child. The average school fees. You're telling them that they should be empowered by frying akara. It's just one of those things where the rich wants to keep the poor poor so that they can continually remain rich, you know? It's just what it is. It's actually a very selfish social cultural system, which is a sad one, and Oladips is addressing those issues here.
Dry Gito da Oki Penny Doko Sinako Somi Yeto Si filling station Keriko. Next year anything Madibo from Ole Jayito Egberi Ole Fofun Bandit or Gani Oti Penny Bush baby no be made with Abokito she kidnapper. Melolara bandits will be that where they slap am. To my knowledge any insurgency where they untouchable is owned by the government, controlled like a turntable. The Fulani expense to the white people go for Benue. That is why the Igbo people just wanna be independent. Just people still they get attacked at home and their camps. While the cows still they chop all the crops on their farms. But the government still they use us cash crews, then they find trend. Instead, may they help us find solution, may the fight end. People where they shout, we shall stand them the benefits on your mandate. It no go better for you on your insecurity. Don't
Okay, so now he's now addressing the things that I expected him to talk about before, but he just kind of like planned it and structured his rap verses in a way where he touches everything. So right now he's talking about the government, he's talking about insecurities, he's talking about how the insecurity has reflected in different tribes and different people. The old Igbos have been crying out to be independent, and that's because they feel like they have been the less privileged sect of the Nigerian government of Nigeria. Then you talk about the insecurities in the north, talk about how these people are doing on your mandate to shall stand. Political propaganda is literally playing its way around the people of Nigeria while people are suffering. And you know one thing about this is that I've not really talked about the visuals. We see a man that appears to be a politician with Nigeria hanging at the pot, a Nigerian flag at the pot, and you see him steering something. So what is this literally means, in my own interpretation, is that it just talks about how these politicians are cooking Nigeria and they are just manipulating their system and making it favor themselves. So they are steering Nigeria in the way they want it to go, while the masses are clamoring and shouting and crying for help. But these guys are just doing what they want to do and steering the pots, steering Nigeria in the way they want it to go. So it's like a propaganda and an agenda that these guys have planned and they are just play with it.
Take over Nigeria like pandemic. Can't even go to school and focus on academics. Can't travel by road and our homes are not safe no more. Yet they share rice for the people being shake. My childhood friend was a victim of kidnapping gone wrong. They tried to take him in front of his house. They tried to fight back, but they shot him in the chest on the spot. This is a true story, no be clout. Person we just marry way because to the suck breast. Bandits don't they enter people house they jump first. In 2026, see the tales that I'm telling. Rest in peace to my brother Just Wayne or Tenny. Divided to 4 and united we could multiply. But a grown up man they claim a city boy at 45. All they do is buy them a car, pay their house rent. Disgusting. This is first hand embarrassment. For the next 8 years, then go flog us koboko. Toleni tadipo for Toleni wole moroko. You better yasile e passion you get fi poloko. National cake, then they chop am like okporoko. Leaders of tomorrow got kidnapped in our faces. We will be next in line, still the struggle in our 30s. Shanity Kuru with a baggy over leggings. Now only when we scam we fee afford the aesthetics. We are leaders of tomorrow got kidnapped in our faces. We will be next in line, still the struggle in our 30s. Shanity Kuru with a baggy over leggings. Now only when we scam we fee afford the aesthetics.
You see, when he talked about the leaders of tomorrow got kidnapped in our faces, then he said that they are struggling in their 30s. The leaders of tomorrow, they're just addressing the whole Ondo kidnapping situation that happened. And even though the government didn't really tell us how they got and rescued those kids. We knew that there might have been a back end negotiation that happened, but they didn't reveal it to the public. But this just shows how bad the situation has gotten in the country, where children are being kidnapped and insecurity is on the highest. You could see he also talked about, referenced his friend that was literally unalived in front of him, and that one had a child that was literally just a baby. So he addressed a lot of things here, and Oladips, this one is deep, man. He actually did something deep on this one, but let's let it rock to the end. One thing I'll highlight in this video and the song in general is that he used a lot of voiceovers from different parties in the whole Ondo kidnapping that happened. The first one, you see Sheyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, that actually addressed the people. And I said Ondo kidnapping. Did I say Ondo kidnapping? Sorry, Oyo State kidnapping. Oyo kidnapping, rather, not Ondo kidnapping. So you could see Sheyi Makinde coming to talk. Then at the end, the lady that spoke at the end, that's literally the principal of the primary school where children were abducted, kids were abducted, teachers were abducted, and as this happened, a lot of people lost their life in the process. And we saw a horrific video that I don't even want to talk about here. But anyway, these are just the issues, and this is Oladips lending his own 2 cents and talking about these issues. So tell me what you think about this song. This is deep. I think we need more Nigerian artists to talk about this. At least that's the minimum, and that's the barest minimum that we can do, is to talk about it, throw more lights to this, and let them know that we are not asleep. Shout out to Fowls that has been very conscious on this situation. Shout out to Oladips, very conscious in this situation. Rugged Man is also somebody that has done it in the past. But yeah, tell me what you think about this. I'll go by name is Cool Prince, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.